On June 5, 2025, officers teamed up with detectives to track down a duo with a very specific and very expensive hobby, stealing UPS gold packages. This wasn't exactly their first rodeo. They'd already pulled off 3 similar Costco gold thefts in just 15 days.
Your ID inside the car? Where's it at? Where's your ID at?
Victor 1, are you yelling over there?
Where? In the wallet. In the wallet? Where's your wallet? Where in the transfer of the armrest is? Or in front of it? In front of it? You got 2 transport cars coming?
Yeah.
Take them back to our PD since we're closer.
Yeah.
Let's figure everything out there.
Yep.
We can have towed back there too.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know. Could very well be the same girl from mine. It's hard to tell. It looks very similar to the other girl I had mine, but
Got the UPS driver doing the show up of who they.
Well, he was in the truck, so I don't know if he saw or not.
Did he see it?
I'll have to verify that with him. I'll get a tow truck en route too.
Yeah.
Is this his car? This your car? Okay, you're the owner of the car? Did you read him his rights there, Rich? Can you read him his rights?
What's your name? So I'll make sure you understand what I just read to you. Gotcha. You don't know what he is. Just let him make his own choice. You judge for him. Alright. Yeah.
Search already or not?
Yeah, search her again anyway.
Okay. She's gonna search you, okay? Yeah.
Your photos are you, right? Yeah, I'm just double checking.
Do you have anything on you that's gonna hurt me?
Sandra, I'm gonna lock go right in the interview with her.
Okay.
It's gonna be correct.
How are you? I'm good. There you go. I'm Detective Banashevsky with Villa Park Police Department. We got some deliveries. You got a second to talk to me?
Sure.
Okay. Just had a few questions for you. Yes.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning. What were you expecting?
So we ordered 2 gold, 1 ounce gold bars
From where?
from Costco
And how did you order that?
online. And
Through a
through their
website
website.
or through
Yeah.
Costco.com?
Costco.com.
Using your membership?
My membership, and
Okay.
then I used a credit card to pay for it.
Okay.
And they were supposed to be delivered today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been waiting since this morning because I assumed it was a sensitive item. I would have to sign for it.
Yes.
But nobody even showed up, and it says, when you go into the UPS tracking, it says signature required,
Right.
but nobody even showed up, and it does say received by Irfan, and my name is spelled wrong too. I saw it.
Okay. Do you have a copy of the receipt from Costco or anything? How you ordered it?
Yeah,
on
it's
your
in
phone?
my email. Yeah.
Perfect. So you ordered it online. You ordered 2 gold bars. How much were they valued?
I think the total was around 6,800 something.
$6,860. Does that sound about right?
I don't remember the exact number.
2
but
ounces.
I
Two.
believe- Yeah,
1 2.
so 1 ounce each. Yeah.
Okay. 2 1-ounce gold bars.
Yes. Okay, so online. Okay, so it was 6,859.
So no identity theft previously. Nobody has a copy of your driver's license.
Previously, as in
Recently.
no, nothing recent.
Nothing recent.
No.
Gotta ask. Did you give anybody permission to pick up your package and sign for it on
Here?
your behalf? Yes.
Today? No. Like I'm telling you, I stayed home all day.
Okay, so you didn't give anybody permission to sign for...
No. I mean, it's just me or my husband, and my kids that live here, but I stayed home just because of this reason. So I realized it wasn't here, and I checked in the updates, it said it was delivered.
Sure.
So I called them right away, and I told them. So
And what did they say?
She looked into it for a while. I think it took me a while. I was on that call. So I was on the call for like 29 minutes, half an hour. So I'm sure they checked all their resources, and then she was like, we'll initiate a refund.
Okay, so are you accepting a refund from them?
I mean, yeah, that's my only choice.
Yeah, because, like I said, we do have your package, but they're probably going to keep it as evidence for the time being.
Wait, you have the package?
We do.
Oh,
Yeah, we have the package.
Oh!
But it's not like I can just, here's your 2 gold bars.
Oh, okay.
I can't give it to you.
I guess I missed that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, long story short.
But you're saying somebody was stealing packages.
Yes, we intercepted a bad guy. Somebody signed for it on your behalf. They said, "Oh, I'm in a rush. This is this is me. Here's my driver's license," and they signed for it. Now they don't
They
have
had a driver's?
No, but they had your name. So
Oh my God.
they signed for your name, and the driver gave them the package. We stopped them, so they got arrested. We recovered the package, but we're probably gonna have to keep it for evidence. That's really up to our state's attorney's office. But you're getting a refund anyway, so that's gonna go back to Costco.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for stopping by.
No problem. Have a good day.
You want him in a room? What do you want?
Most theft cases don't begin with violence. They begin with opportunity and the belief that nobody is watching. That belief is the quiet engine behind this entire investigation. Because what you're about to see isn't a spontaneous crime. It's a pattern, a routine, a system that worked several times before finally collapsing. And the collapse didn't happen because the suspects suddenly made a mistake. It happened because repetition always leaves a trail. By the time officers make contact with the 2 suspects, the investigation is already underway. Detectives aren't guessing, they're confirming. The suspects are detained, searched, and read their rights. The tone is calm, procedural, almost routine. But routine procedures usually mean something important has already happened behind the scenes. This is a package interception case, specifically, theft involving high-value UPS deliveries containing gold purchased online. Not one incident, but multiple similar thefts over a short period of time. That pattern matters. Because repeated crimes create predictability, and predictability makes surveillance and interception possible. The suspects don't fully realize it yet, but by the time they're sitting with officers, the investigation has already moved beyond suspicion. The first major turning point happens when detectives speak with the victim, the person who ordered the gold bars. She explains she ordered 2 1-ounce gold bars online through Costco, about $6,800 worth of gold. A delivery that required a signature. She stayed home all day waiting. No knock, no driver. But the tracking system says the package was delivered and signed for, with her name spelled incorrectly. That detail matters more than it seems. Because forged signatures often expose fraud faster than stolen items themselves. They create documentation that investigators can trace. The victim confirms she never authorized anyone to sign for the package. No identity theft. No shared ID. No permission given. That's when detectives reveal something unexpected. The package has already been recovered. The suspects were intercepted shortly after signing for it. This moment shifts the case from investigation to confirmation. The crime is no longer hypothetical. It's documented. The legal authority here is straightforward. Signing for a delivery under someone else's name using fraudulent identification constitutes theft and forgery. And because the item's value exceeds $500, it becomes a felony-level offense. But the investigation doesn't stop with one package, because officers suspect a pattern. And patterns are what turns small thefts into organized crime cases. Back with the suspects, questioning begins. The tone remains calm and methodical. One suspect waives Miranda rights and begins talking. At first, the strategy is predictable: minimize involvement. He claims the incident was isolated. But evidence doesn't support that claim. And when suspects realize investigators already know more than they expected, their strategy often changes from denial to explanation. That's exactly what happens here. He begins describing how the operation worked. Tracking information and delivery addresses were sent through Telegram. A contact known as Max coordinated the thefts. The suspect's role was simple: intercept packages, sign for them, photograph the contents, then ship them to another location using labels provided by the organizer. Payment ranged from $200 to $600 per package. That admission reveals the structure of the crime. This isn't impulsive theft. It's organized package interception, a growing category of fraud tied to online commerce and delivery systems. And with that admission, the escalation chain becomes clear. Receive stolen tracking information. Arrive before the homeowner. Use fraudulent ID. Sign for the package. Transfer the stolen goods. Get paid. Repeat. The suspect eventually admits to intercepting 5 or 6 packages. That's the second major turning point, because now investigators aren't dealing with a single felony theft. They're dealing with a series of coordinated crimes. Meanwhile, the second suspect initially requests a translator before speaking. Her strategy begins differently. She claims she was simply playing Pokemon Go and didn't intend to steal anything. This is another common investigative moment. When suspects believe their role appears smaller, they try to frame themselves as bystanders rather than participants, but evidence rarely supports that distinction. As questioning continues, her story shifts. She admits receiving messages about packages, names, and delivery addresses. She acknowledges using fraudulent identification containing her photo but someone else's information. She also admits intercepting multiple packages. Financial motivation becomes the explanation. Bills. Money problems. Sending funds to family. These explanations don't justify the crime, but they often explain why suspects rationalize their actions. And that leads to one of the most important contrasts in this case. The suspects believed they were committing low-risk delivery fraud, temporary possession of packages that would quickly be shipped elsewhere. But legally, signing for someone else's property using false identification transforms the act into felony theft and forgery. The perceived crime, quick money with little danger; the legal reality, multiple felony charges tied to documented deliveries. That gap between perception and reality drives the entire investigation. Another layer emerges when detectives compare the suspects' stories. The contradictions are immediate. One suspect claims the scheme was his idea. The other claims it was hers. One says their contact was Max. The other says NK or HK. One minimizes the other's involvement. The other confirms. Both were active participants. These inconsistencies don't weaken the case, they strengthen it. Because contradictions often confirm independent participation rather than innocence, investigators now have confessions, recovered stolen property, fraudulent IDs, delivery records, and prior incident connections. At this stage, the arrest becomes inevitable, not emotional, not dramatic, mathematical. Evidence plus admissions equals charges, and prosecutors agree. Assistant State's Attorney review results in felony charges for theft exceeding 500 but less than 10,000. Additional charges include forgery and identity theft. The suspects are transported to county custody, and the scheme ends. But the real lesson in this case isn't about gold bars or delivery trucks. It's about escalation through repetition. The suspects succeeded several times before getting caught. That success likely reinforced the belief that the system was safe. But repeated crimes increase exposure. Each delivery requires another forged signature, another appearance on camera, another digital message, another witness. Eventually, probability catches up. That's the hidden logic behind investigations like this. Law enforcement often doesn't stop the first crime. They stop the pattern, and once the pattern is visible, the outcome is predictable. There's also a deeper irony here. The suspects weren't stealing gold directly from homes or businesses. They were exploiting trust, the trust built into delivery systems where drivers rely on identification and signatures. That trust made the theft possible. But it also created documentation that made the investigation easier. Every intercepted package generated records, delivery logs, signatures, timestamps, surveillance footage, communication trails. The very process that enabled the theft also documented it. That's the paradox of modern fraud. The more organized the scheme becomes, the easier it is to trace. In the end, this case shows how small decisions stack into serious consequences. Using fake IDs, signing someone else's name, accepting payment for stolen property, repeating the process. Each step alone might seem minor to the people involved. Together, they form a felony case. And once suspects begin explaining their actions in interrogation rooms, the investigation often writes itself. The final takeaway is simple. Crime patterns create evidence patterns, and when someone believes they've found a reliable way to game the system, what they're often doing instead is building a record of their own actions. Because in the long run, repetition doesn't make crimes safer, it makes it easier to prove.